a little bit of meow meow fun out here in the quilting studio. Amy brought this over. This is her cat in the window version of this little quilt, 56 by 58 inches. Making this for her daughter, I think, or maybe it's her daughter's friend. Anywho, what a fun quilt. Look at all the cats. All the fabrics are cat fabrics. Look at those vibrant little kitties. Look at those sweet little darlings right there. And her background fabric, she's got it in the yellow window boxes, and then some of them the really vibrant bright green background. So we decided to do it in my willow color of thread, which is a really nice bright green. And I'm doing it in my cute little Samson kitty cat outline. I'm alternating my kitty cats. So there's one here and then up above. So they're going like this, which is great. Now, normally what would happen, partly because they're being alternated, is one would have a full row and then one would have like a half of a little cat running into the edge of the quilt. But Amy let me know right up front she wants to do self-binding. What's self-binding? That's when you take the back of the fabric and the backing of the quilt and you roll it to the front. So when that happens and you let me know that's the case, I'm going to keep the design in just a little bit, because that way you'll have an easier time slipping your next board, your cutting board, in between the batting and the back, releasing all of the basting stitches, putting that inside there, and being able to trim your front equal to the back right here. If you watch some of my videos, I do demonstrate that a little bit. So this cat is full size, but this next one would have been a half of a cat. Well, because I didn't want to do a half a cat running into the edge here, what I did is I took this next cat, left her right over here where she would be, and just made a little bit longer kind of a tail, so it goes out as far as I'm feeling comfortable with this design and being able to allow it to fill up as much of the quilt as needed. Isn't she cute? She's such a cutie pie right here. So when you're doing self-binding, let me know ahead of time and I will keep that design in a bit. We talked about the batting, and she chose to go with my lighter weight batting, which I'm all about, my friends. I have 5 or 6 different styles. She did not need to bring her own. She was able to use mine, which is great. And that lighter weight's going to keep the quilt itself a little lighter weight and cause a little bit of fullness on these cats. Also, she needed a backing. And I said, you know, I have about, a dozen or 15 different 108 by 108 backings. We looked at them, and she said, this one's it right here. She was a quick decider. She says, I'm very decisive. I make decisions and I move forward, and I'm all about it. She knew the color she wanted and the style she wanted. Once I showed her 5 or 6 options, she knew exactly what she wanted. Same with the backing. She grabbed that backing and said, let's go for it. Now, this is a 108 backing. This quilt is only about 56 inches. So I am going to make sure I move the quilt basically as far down to one side as I need, so she can have all the rest of this left over. She can trim that up. That can be a backing of a quilt. It could be lots of blocks. It could be a border. It could be lots of bindings. She has options right here. So when you're over here, I'm going to make sure that you get your backing as big as possible. All right, friends, enjoy what you've got going. Send a quilt over to Brenda's Quilting Studio. Follow on Facebook and Instagram. Be sure and send this out to your friends. And in the meantime, have a happy meow meow day.